response to them. As individuals, our personal decisions remain aimless or self-canceling. As governments, we stumble from crisis to crash program, lurching into the future without plan, without hope, without vision. Lacking a systematic framework for understanding the clash of forces in today's world, we are like a ship's crew, trapped in a storm and trying to navigate between dangerous reefs without compass or chart. In a culture of warring specialisms, drowned in fragmented data and fine-toothed analysis, synthesis is not merely useful, it is crucial. For this reason, The Third Wave is a book of large-scale synthesis. It describes the old civilization in which many of us grew up, and presents a careful, comprehensive picture of the new civilization bursting into being in our midst. So profoundly revolutionary is this new civilization that it challenges all our old assumptions, old ways of thinking, old formulas, dogmas, and ideologies, no matter how cherished or how useful in the past, no longer fit the facts. The world that is fast emerging from the clash of new values and technologies, new geopolitical relationships, new lifestyles and modes of communication, demands wholly new ideas and analogies, classifications and concepts. We cannot cram the embryonic world of tomorrow into yesterday's conventional cubbyholes, nor are the orthodox attitudes or moods appropriate. Thus, as the description of this strange new civilization unfolds in these pages, we will find reason to challenge the chic pessimism that is so prevalent today. Despair, saleable and self-indulgent, has dominated the culture for a decade or more. The Third Wave concludes that despair is not only a sin, as C.P. Snow, I believe, once put it, but that it is also unwarranted. I am under no Pollyanna-ish illusions. It is scarcely necessary today to elaborate on the real dangers facing us, from nuclear annihilation and ecological disaster to racial fanaticism or regional violence. I have written about these dangers myself in the past, and will no doubt do so again. War, economic debacle, large-scale technological disaster. Any of these could alter future history in catastrophic ways. Nevertheless, as we explore the many new relationships springing up, between changing energy patterns and new forms of family life, or between advanced manufacturing methods and the self-help movement, to mention only a few, we suddenly discover that many of the very same conditions that produce today's greatest perils also open fascinating new potentials. The Third Wave shows us these new potentials. It argues that, in the very midst of destruction and decay, we can now find striking evidences of birth and life. It shows clearly, and I think indisputably, that with intelligence and a modicum of luck, the emergent civilization can be made more sane, sensible, and sustainable, more decent and more democratic than we have ever known. If the main argument of this book is correct, there are powerful reasons for long-range optimism, even if the transitional years immediately ahead are likely to be stormy and crisis-ridden. As I've worked on The Third Wave in the past few years, lecture audiences have repeatedly asked me how it differs from my earlier work, Future Shock. Author and reader never see quite the same things in a book. I view The Third Wave as radically different from Future Shock, in both form and focus. To begin with, it covers a much wider sweep of time, past as well as future. It is more prescriptive. Its architecture is different. The perceptive reader will find that its structure mirrors its central metaphor, the clash of waves. Substantively, the differences are even more pronounced. While Future Shock called for certain changes to be made, it emphasized the personal and social costs of change. The Third Wave, while taking note of the difficulties of adaptation, emphasizes the equally important costs of not changing certain things rapidly enough. Moreover, while in the earlier book I wrote of the premature arrival of the future, I did not attempt to sketch the emergent society of tomorrow in any comprehensive or systematic way.